don't really understand why he's still salty here. CJ Gardner-Johnson here getting upset, being lied to in media week when you're sitting in the Super Bowl. They asked him about Detroit. He says, truthfully, like in Detroit, he liked it in hell. I went there to just, okay, I got there, hurt, was like, F it. Truthfully, that's why I didn't go rehab there. I got benched because Iffy took my spot, he said. He had a good run, and they thought, and he didn't end up starting this year, which was crazy. You know where they're at. You see where I'm at. CJ, Melifonwu's injury. He didn't end up starting this year, particularly because he missed 14 games of the NFL season. Thank you for that note there. CJ Gardner-Johnson, I got lied to, is whatever. I got told respectfully that it was going to be brought back and didn't get brought back. And the offseason went real for me signing back here because I wasn't really tripping at all. It all worked out. It really felt like it was more towards the game that they felt that way, he said, after one missed tackle, blown coverage. That wasn't on me. I guess I was a villain of the team. No, that's not it. The reason you didn't get signed back was I think probably because of your attitude, the way you're on the sideline. At the end of the game, people knew about your frustrations, and Iffy had a great run. And the reason that Iffy wasn't starting is because Iffy has been injured. So what do you expect? You expect him to be able to play when he's injured? I don't think that I expected him to get dinged up, but not 14 games dinged up. So that was unexpected. And plus, you have Brian Branch. You have, all these other players doing good at the safety position. So I don't think you should be salty about it. I mean, you're in the Super Bowl, bro. Like, we're the ones that should be salty, right? We're the ones that should be salty. So CJ Gardner-Johnson, man, I wish you the best, bro, but don't hold back salt. What do you guys think about CJ Gardner-Johnson? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Him getting upset and not too happy on this. Power for the course, man. Power for the course. Let's go ahead and jump into this here. Talking about Detroit Lions receiving bad news, they said, at the NFL Honors. Now, if you know Heavy.com, they put out a lot of articles that don't really make sense. I actually got to always kind of combat it. Talk about Ben Johnson. He won a lot of the awards. Is that bad news for the Lions? No. Why would he? Yes, he's a Chicago Bear now, but he was a Detroit Lion. And so that was, Lions getting a lot of awards. Talks about the Jared Goff, 5th in NFL voting for MVP. I feel like that's good news. I didn't expect him at all to win the NFL MVP award because there was other players that was going to get it. But I'm happy that he was nominated for it. And this is the first time that a Detroit Lion player to get vote for MVP honors since Barry Sanders. So, that's, to me, they say it's bad news, kind of a little bit of, what do you call it, kind of a clickbaity a little bit. I don't think that's bad news, folks. But you want to know what's good news is saving money. And the best part of saving money is Game Time, because it's the easiest and fastest way to save money to sport events, for concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest prices guaranteed. That's the Game Time guarantee. Let's keep it a buck. Going to a game, it's much better to be in the house. 76ers are at Detroit tonight for the game, and if you want to get tickets, our friends for Game Time is a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. What it does, it filters out all the tickets in the database, gets the best deals and seats, so you're not spending hours searching through waste for thousands of different sites and tickets. And how do you get to this? Well, you go to the venue you want to go to. It's going to be a 3D view. You select the Game Time Picks button on top of the screen, and it automatically does the research for you, and it filters out the tickets and database, get the best deals and seats. You're going to spend hours on a bunch of different ticketing sites trying to find the best deals. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And a middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, move phone left to right. You can see the surrounding area kind of like a 3D live photo. Also, all pricing is right there for you. There's no hidden fees at checkout, so take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. And if you're new to Game Time, if you plug in Chat Sports, you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. You go to the redeem code section, you plug in Chat Sports, you get $20 off first purchase. Terms to apply. Got a create account, got an email, they save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. Now, if you didn't know, if you were living under a rock, the honors was there and pictures going around. Aidan Hutchinson and Myles Garrett pictures with Jared Goff is floating everywhere. And they asked Aidan Hutchinson thoughts on a Myles Garrett trade. There is the picture that everybody is talking about. You have Aidan Hutchinson right there. You have my MVP, Jared Goff. And you got Myles Garrett talking Jared Goff between the passers, Aidan Hutchinson and Myles Garrett. And they asked him, obviously, about Myles Garrett. Aidan Hutchinson said, everyone's asking me about that. I don't know, Hutchinson says. I don't think you can't have that many dudes on the D-line. I don't know. Who knows? But I think it's very unlikely. That's what he thinks. I think so, but you never know if he could have played in the Super Bowl. So here, this is him talking about Myles Garrett. Again, he doesn't believe it's going to happen. And that's that's somebody. Doesn't mean it's necessarily it's not, but that means he doesn't believe it's going to happen, and I don't believe it's going to happen. But that's just us. What do you guys think in the comments? Let us know your thoughts. Who do you believe, Aidan Hutchinson, or do you believe that they can get him? Let me know your thoughts. Myles Garrett would be great to make the defensive line nasty, according to Amon-Ra St. Brown. The receiver Brand Couple announced looking for Tracy. I never know, and I'm not sure. He's jokingly about his brother asking about Garrett. I should probably ask general manager Brad Holmes. Him and Aidan Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader are D-line. I swear you would have a D-line that's nasty. You don't need any corners. He asked about Calvin Shepard. I don't know how they usually work. St. Brown says, brother, they usually don't They usually trade draft picks about the trades. So he would love to have it. Everybody would love to have it. 100% it would be nasty. But what does Myles Garrett think about this? About a trade to the Detroit Lions. He was asked about this last night. They asked him, and this is huge quotations here, thoughts about potentially playing for the Detroit Lions. Says, not really. Garrett also walked to his next interview. Asked again. Not yet. Big quotation marks right there from Myles Garrett to being traded to the Detroit Lions. He hasn't thought about it, and not yet. We know that's absolute BS. Of course he has thought about it. Of course, he's not going to talk about specific teams. He's wanting to go to a contender. I would absolutely love Myles Garrett here, and seeing that picture, it gets me goosebumps, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. They read each other at the award show. That's what that means. Doesn't mean that the Detroit Lions are trading for Myles Garrett, but man, it would be amazing. I still think it's unlikely, and I'm going to continue to say it's unlikely because it's just something that two clubs would have to get on. We've probably already tried at the NFL trade deadline. We've went through the reasons why I think it would be unlikely. The money's actually not a part of it because his contract's not bad right now. You'd have to give him, though, a contract extension. That would be the disruptor for them from a financial perspective. Draft capital, we have draft capital. So I think that wouldn't be an issue from just thinking of it. But we're talking about Brad Holmes, who doesn't do that type of stuff. So I just don't think it's going to happen. All right. Next here. Lions are predicted to draft a 6'2", 78 touchdown quarterback is the heir apparent to Milroe. And this was Jalen Milroe, the quarterback from Alabama. Every single year we hear that they're going to get, all these quarterbacks. We got Hendon Hooker a couple years ago. I don't see the Lions drafting a quarterback this year at all. At all. This is what they say. It says Milroe would be the future, and he would give the Lions a significant amount of time to develop him. And a single caller added potentially athleticism is there. It just needs to be guided. Ryan possesses all the physical tools to be quarterback in the NFL with the right development. Cool. I just don't see the Lions drafting a quarterback this year at all. What do you guys think? Think the Lions going to draft a quarterback? I don't think so. Lions extended Jared Goff. He's going to be here for the foreseeable future. I don't believe they'll draft a quarterback this year. Maybe in 2 years they'll do something like that, but I don't see it happening this year. Let's get to the next article here. Kelly Stafford is mad and upset and basically threatens on our podcast that they would welcome a trade because they're upset about Cooper Kupp. No one cares about Kelly Stafford. Let's keep it a buck. Kelly, no one cares about your threats. You're really hurting it for Matthew Stafford, right? For all the Stafford fans out there, you already know where a lot of the hate comes from is the wife here, Kelly Stafford. She's just she talks. She's got a mouth like we're booing the babies. But they're upset about that. And why am I talking about this? It has nothing to do with the Rams. Actually, do with if Stafford were to get traded, one of the teams you'd think about would be the Minnesota Vikings. I know they got J.J. McCarthy, and that's personally the route that I'd go if I'm them. But boy, oh boy, that would be a situation that would suck, right? Having him go there because he is an upgrade over Darnold, and we don't know J.J. McCarthy's status. But other than that, I don't think Stafford getting traded. I don't know why the Rams are potentially doing Cooper Kupp. They just draft another player, man. Puka Nacua, this is what they do. You lose Aaron Donald, you get Jared Verse, even though it's not defensive tackle. This is what they do. So do I see Stafford getting traded? No. I think Cooper Kupp's more of a one-off. Do I think that Kelly Stafford is not the smartest person in the world? Yes, I do. And I'm happy I don't have to deal with that. Thankfully, we got Jared Goff and his wife that doesn't talk. She's all about just staying behind the scenes, and that's what I like. Folks, let us know your thoughts in the comments below.